Hello everyone, my name is Peter.
And my name is Ashley.
Welcome. We're so grateful to be sharing our practice with you today. We have some fun poses and exercises in store for you, and we're looking forward to sharing the things that inspire us and things that are accessible.
What's wonderful about having two teachers teach you in one video is that you get to see the different ways that different body types do the postures, because every body is different and everybody needs to accommodate in their own way. So feel free to modify throughout this class what best suits your physiology.
So once again, we thank you for joining us and sharing in the gift that keeps on giving. Thank you. So for this first posture, we'll be practicing a simple neck roll. So Ashley, you can be our demonstration for this posture. And just start by making simple, small circles with your head. First, this is just about connecting to the muscles of the neck rather than trying to stretch them immediately. Just feeling them, making much smaller circles than what you're capable of, going in one direction and then going in the other direction. Just allowing these muscles connecting between the neck and the shoulder to release. Now you can make larger circles. Just focusing on breathing deeply here, keeping the heart lifted, allowing the breath to flow smoothly, feeling as though we're releasing any tension that we may have brought with us to our class today, and allowing the breath to be long and smooth and full. So you can switch directions for that last time. Just remembering, especially to protect the back of the neck here as you expand your circles, remembering that this is very beneficial, and at the same time to be cautious and gentle with your body.
For our next warm-up, we're going to do a seated cat-cow. So notice how Peter is sitting in a nice, comfortable position. We want to make sure that we feel anchored down through the base of our spine. Really feel gravity holding you to the surface of the earth. We're going to elongate the spine up, so it's almost like you're a tree reaching up to the sky. We're going to place our hands on our knees just for some extra support, and we're going to do a seated cat-cow. So every time we inhale, we're going to inhale, lift the chest up towards the sky, lifting the chin, opening up the heart, the breath, throat, and as we exhale, we're going to pull in through the stomach, the heart, rounding the chest, tucking the chin, exhaling completely, and inhale, we'll lift that heart and chin back up towards the heavens. Now feel free to hold your breath either in or out once you get to the top or the bottom, just to help stretch and open the spine or the chest a little bit more. Feel free to go at your own pace. We really want to connect the breath in with our movement. So really feeling the spine open up as we exhale and round forward, and really opening up the heart, chest, and throat as we inhale up towards the heavens. Doing one more round of this seated cat-cow. Slowly bringing your spine back to center, returning to a normal breath.
So Ashley will be demonstrating the full yogic breath, or Dirga Pranayam. This is a simple beginner's breathing exercise, specifically of diaphragmatic breathing, tuning in to our deeper reservoirs of lung capacity in the lower belly and the rib cage as well, including the chest and shoulders last. So how this will go is essentially you're filling up your lungs as if they were a vessel filling up with water, filling up the bottom, the abdomen, the diaphragm, the rib cage, and then the chest and the shoulders, and then emptying from the chest and shoulders, then the diaphragm, then the lower belly last. So Ashley can demonstrate the movement that goes along with this in bringing the hands into this breath. So first inhaling the hands up, belly, rib cage, chest, all the way up, inhaling nice and tall, and then exhaling, releasing the hands all the way as you exhale, lowering the hands to the ground, exhaling, and then inhaling, sweeping that energy up the center line of the body, inhaling belly, diaphragm, chest, and shoulders all the way up, and then exhaling, completely releasing that breath, chest, diaphragm, belly last. So you can do a few more here at your own pace, just tuning into the flow of the breath as it moves throughout your entire torso, connecting with these spaces within yourself, and finding that ability to balance the exhale and the inhale, the tension, the relaxation, feeling your own flow as you breathe, and with this last breath, offering it up, and exhale, release completely back to center. So Ashley will be demonstrating a simple warm-up. This is a spine twist, helpful for releasing synovial fluid in the spine, getting our joints nice and limber and lubricated for our practice. And just remember to be gentle with yourself and do what's right for you today. So without further ado, so just starting by twisting from side to side, allowing the body to be loose, supple, relaxed, and allowing the hands to wrap against the lower spine, the kidneys, this low and mid back area. You can try placing the hands at different heights. If you want to raise your hands a little bit higher, seeing if you can knock against your upper back a little bit, just feeling what feels good for you today, and then releasing back to center. So this is another warm-up. This is a tense and hold. So first it's exhale, release the air, then inhale, take a nice big breath in, maybe 10 seconds, tense and hold the breath, maybe 10 seconds, and then exhale, completely release, relax the body. So we'll do this 2 more times. Inhale, big breath in, fill the lungs with air, tense as much as you can till the body's vibrating, and then release completely. And 1 more time, inhaling, big full breath, tensing the body with will, exhaling, completely relaxing as you exhale. Now our last warm-up is a simple breath called the swimming breath. Essentially, you start with your hands at your heart center, and then inhale the hands up the center line of the body, all the way up overhead, and then sweep them out to the sides as you exhale, to the hands to the sides, and then drawing the hands up the center line of the body with an inhale. Feel as though you're swimming in air, breathing in this fresh life energy with each new breath, making each breath a little bit deeper, a little bit fuller, mostly with more feeling and relaxation. So we'll do 1 more of these. Just inhaling through each of the vertebrae in the spine, filling the lower belly, diaphragm, chest, and shoulders, and then releasing the arms down by the sides, relaxing completely.
This next posture is called freedom pose or Muktasana. So we want to stand somewhere at the middle of our mat with our feet hip width apart. So So I'm gonna have Peter go ahead and widen out his feet just a little bit, just so that they're right underneath his hip bones. We're gonna start by stepping our left foot forward. We wanna have about a 2 to 3 foot distance between our feet. And we wanna make sure our weight is evenly distributed in both legs. Now I'm gonna have Peter bend his front knee. We wanna make sure that his knee is directly anchored right over his ankle so that we don't do any damage to the knee in this posture. Making sure that you feel nice and strong and grounded. We're gonna elevate up through the crown of the head. And as we inhale, we're gonna sweep our arms out and up to the side, letting the palms gather up overhead. Now I'm gonna have Peter relax his shoulders down and his elbows just a bit, making sure that he feels nice and long. And on our next inhale, we wanna imagine we've got a golden thread connected to our heart, and we're just gently lifting our chest up towards the heavens, coming into a very gentle back bend. Now notice that Peter is not allowing his head to fall back. We want to protect our spine by still keeping the chin gently tucked as we lift our chest up towards the heavens. Now I'm going to have Peter exit this posture, relaxing the arms back down to the side and stepping into Tadasana. And we're going to do the other side, but from a sideways position. So go ahead and turn sideways. And this time we're gonna step either the left foot back or the right foot forward. Once again, making sure you feel nice and grounded through both legs. We're gonna have Peter bring a bend into that right knee. Again, notice how he's not letting his knee go past his ankle. This is very important. Once you feel nice and strong and grounded in both legs, we're gonna inhale, sweep those arms up overhead, letting the palms gather. And then we're gonna exhale, relax the shoulders down, relax the elbows down. Making sure, again, we feel nice and grounded. And in our next inhale, we're gonna offer that chest up towards the heavens. Notice how once again, Peter's not letting his head fall back. He's keeping a nice smooth curve in his spine. Now you get to choose how big this back bend is for you. So make sure that you feel comfortable, that your breath can continue flowing deep into the diaphragm in this posture. Let's take one more nice big full deep breath in. Exhale full. And inhale as we step forward, reach those arms high up overhead. And exhale, arms down to the side.
These next two postures, half moon pose and forward fold, are excellent standing postures for beginners to start off by expanding the spine, the lungs, the rib cage, and generally stretching these major muscles in the body. So first with half moon pose, actually you can demonstrate by lifting the arms up overhead, standing toes and heels together, inhaling the arms up, and then exhaling, lowering the shoulders away from the ears, staying relaxed here. If at any point you need to lower your hands down to your heart, especially if you have blood pressure, by all means, please do what's right for your body today. So once again, inhaling up nice and tall, and then reaching over to your right side. First, reaching up before creating any bend in the spine, doing your best to create an even arch in the spine. You can see how Ashley's creating that single unit, squeezing her legs together, staying nice and strong and balanced while reaching up through the fingertips, staying calm, as though the body were between two panes of glass, making sure ankles, knees, hips, shoulders, elbows, head, and ears are all in a line. And then you can come back to center. Exhale, inhale up nice and tall, and then immediately reach over to the opposite side. And just pressing the palms together, doing your best to stay relaxed here, keeping the breath flowing smooth and even, staying calm in the heart, and then releasing from this side now. Exhale the arms by the sides briefly. Take a breath. And then inhale the arms up once again. This time press the hips forward in a gentle back bend, reach back, look up, and then sweep the arms forward. You can place the hands on the knees if you like to support the lower spine, sliding the hands down the legs all the way until you find a point of contact between the upper and lower body. So finding a place to grip your hands around the backs of your legs, your knees, your calves, or your feet. If you need to balance, placing the hands on the ground, that is by all means more than okay. Bending the knees as much as possible, also fine. You can also alternate bending the knees back and forth, which is called walking the knees out. Just finding a little bit more space in the lower back, what's called the posterior chain, the connection point between our Achilles tendons at the base of our heel and all the way up through all the muscles of the back to the back of the neck. So we're stretching this massive chain of muscles, the strongest chain of muscles in the entire body as we do this. If you like, and your spine is healthy, you can grip and pull just a little bit using the strength of your bicep to stretch your back just a little bit more. Just remembering to protect your spine and stay strong. Breathing into your lower belly, diaphragm, and chest. Relaxing your head. Make sure your head is nice and relaxed as you tuck the chin. You can make little neck circles if you need to. And just enjoy this posture for one more breath. And then as you're ready to transition out of it, keep your chin tucked. As you inhale, come up halfway, place your hands on your knees. Exhale, and then inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. And then exhale the hands to heart center. Release.
So for this next series of postures, we're going to do a upward dog, a downward dog, and a child's pose. This series is mostly performed in vinyasa classes and flow classes, but we're going to take it nice and slow for this demonstration today. So I'm going to have Peter start on his hands and knees, and we're going to do this from a side angle so that you can see exactly what Peter's doing. We want to make sure that our hands are directly underneath our shoulders and our knees are directly underneath our hips so that we've got a nice, strong foundation for our body. We're going to start in our downward facing dog. So I'm going to have Peter go ahead and walk his hands just one palm length in front of where they naturally are. Toes are going to be tucked so that they're on the mat. And we want to imagine that we've got a rope tied around the waist, and we're going to start to pull up through the hips, lengthening through the legs, and elongating through the spine. Now I'm going to have Peter relax his head right between his arms. Now this is a very big stretch, so please take it nice and easy. If you'd like to, you can start to pedal out the legs, slowly releasing one calf at a time, walking the dog, stretching out the backs of the legs. Feel free to explore in this posture. Feel what openings feel best for you. A really easy way to make sure that you feel nice and grounded through this posture is to make sure that your hands are really spread out on the mat, sort of like you got tiger claws gripping your mat. Nice and strong hands. And then we're going to go ahead and transition into our upward dog. So I'm going to have Peter glide into a plank position. Now, if your core does not like a plank, you can place your knees on the mat at any time, but we want to really engage through our body for this next posture. Go ahead and start to release through the lower body, the chest, the shoulders. Also notice chaturanga, and we're going to press up through our upper body, coming into a back bend. Now Peter has his legs squeezed together nice and tight. Hips are pressing into the mat, and he's elongating up through the spine. Now, if this particular back bend is too intense for your body, feel free to lower your belly down to the mat and slide your hands closer underneath your shoulders. This is called a low cobra pose, a great modification place for you to start in your journey to back bends. Now, a great resting place that we're going to move into is called child's pose. So I'm going to have Peter pull back through his hips, sitting back into what's called balasana, or child's pose. We're going to have our knees squeezed together, and as best as you can, we want to relax our belly onto our thighs. Hands lengthened out overhead, forehead is touching the mat. If you feel like you need a break with your hands, you can actually pull your hands back towards your feet, resting your hands back by your feet. Now, we want to do our best to get our sits bones down to our legs, but if your body is not there yet, that's perfectly okay. We're stretching out and opening up the entire spine, which feels really great after those nice big back bends. To exit the posture, I'm going to have Peter just place his hands face down underneath his shoulders. And on an inhale, we're going to slowly rise back up into a comfortable seat.
So this is the final postures for a class, Happy Baby, and then Savasana. So Asha will demonstrate by laying down flat on her back. So the first posture, Happy Baby, you just start by bringing your knees into your chest, and first just giving yourself a hug. You can rock back and forth, side to side, and then if you are willing and able, and it's in the cards for you today, reaching for the outsides of the feet with either hand, and then extending the legs closer towards the head, and then widening the legs and rocking back and forth. Just finding that stretch in the hips, connecting the spine to your mat, feeling the spine elongate here, just releasing any residual tension from the rest of your class today as you release through the feet, thighs, hips, spine, and neck especially. So now releasing back to the ground, we'll come into our Savasana pose. And this posture, while it may look incredibly simple, this is the final yoga pose, the posture of total relaxation and total surrender. So this is where we're tested in letting go of everything. So doing your best to relax flat on the ground. If you need to use a pillow or some other blanket to support, by all means, support your spine, especially in ways that feels right for you. Now, laying flat on the ground, releasing progressively through each distinct area of the body, one section at a time, consciously relaxing as you go, just allowing your breath to flow naturally as you do so. So first, releasing the feet with a breath, the toes, the soles of the feet, tops of the feet, ankles, Achilles tendon, releasing the calves, the shins, the knees, the thighs, the glutes, the hips, releasing the lower back, middle back, upper back, lower belly, diaphragm, chest, releasing the hands, forearms, elbows, biceps, shoulders, neck, throat. With the breath, releasing the tongue, the cheeks, the eyes, the ears, the mouth, the nose, the forehead, and even the top of the head. Completely releasing and relaxing the entire body, being as aware as you can as you find yourself relaxing into deeper and deeper states of complete dissolution, where you feel as though you're melting like butter into the fabric of space itself. Now staying here as long as you like. This is where you gain the benefits from all of your yoga practice. It is in resting where we rebuild, we rejuvenate. So fully giving yourself this gift. And then as you come out of the posture, first just taking a deep breath and starting to wiggle the fingers and toes, rolling the wrists and the ankles, maybe bending the elbows and knees just a little bit more, just finding a little bit more movement coming back into the system. Once again, you can give yourself a hug here, pulling the knees into the chest, thanking yourself for your practice, and then rolling over onto your left side, and then allowing yourself to feel held here by the earth, supported, and then press yourself up with your right hand, coming back into a comfortable seated position. It helps to sit for a few moments in silence after this posture to rebuild our awareness with relaxation as we go out into the world.
For our next exercise, we're going to be doing equal measure breath. So very similar to our Durga Pranayam, or the full yogic breath, we do want to have a full diaphragmatic breath. So if you have lost that connection to your diaphragmatic breathing, go ahead and place one hand on your belly, one hand on your heart, and let's just take a few big, deep breaths together. And as you inhale, allow your belly to fill up, sort of like it's a balloon. Letting that breath rise into the rib cage, the chest, and the shoulders. And then exhaling shoulders, chest, rib cage, and diaphragm. Feel free to keep your hands on your belly and chest throughout this practice, or you can just relax them in a nice, comfortable position at your sides. We're going to be doing an equal measure breath. I like to call it the triangle breath. We're going to be inhaling for an even count, holding our breath for an even count, and then exhaling for an even count. We're going to start really easy, an even 4 count. So let's go ahead and take in a big breath together. Full exhale, and a slow inhale. Hold the breath. Slowly exhale. Inhale, diaphragm, rib cage, chest, shoulders. Hold the breath. Exhale, shoulders, chest, rib cage, diaphragm. Inhale. Hold the breath. Exhale. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Final round, inhale. Hold the breath. Slow exhale. Release the practice and take a nice full deep breath in. And we're going to sigh it out and return to a normal flow of breath.
this is a simple practice for tuning into the awareness of the breath as opposed to an actual breathing exercise. The breath here remains the same. However your natural breathing is, you continue your natural breathing. This practice is called Hong Sa, and it's a practice of tuning into the connection between our breath and the energy in the spine, and it's a practice of conscious relaxation. So as you practice, feel yourself becoming more and more physiologically relaxed, doing your best to be as still as possible, if you can, not moving a single muscle. So finding a comfortable place to sit in a comfortable seat, feeling your spine grounded, reaching up nice and tall through the top of the head. And just start to tune into the sensation of the breath wherever you feel it first, whether this is at the nostrils, or somewhere in the chest, maybe in the belly. Just feeling the sensation of the breath. You can close your eyes and just feel this inflow and outflow of the breath, not changing it in any way to make it deeper or faster, just feeling how it is. Now, as we tune into the inflow of the breath, feel as though there's an energy rising in the spine, rising all the way up to the top of the head. And as you exhale, feel that energy then descending, washing over the entire body. So now start to tune in to your spine as a column, a single beam, a single pillar. Almost like there's an elevator shaft, if you will, in the middle, and that the breath, as you inhale, the elevator goes up to the top floor, and as you exhale, the energy then travels back down through the shaft all the way to the bottom floor. And as we tune in to this sensation, see if you can also feel that there is perhaps a sensation of warmth with the inhale, this rising energy to the sun center, exhaling, feeling coolness, almost like cool waters washing over the body. These are our two nerve channels, our sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system, tuning into the masculine and feminine, the left and right sides of the body. The inflow brings this charged energy up to the brain, and the outflow draws that energy back from the brain into the rest of the body. So now you can repeat a simple syllable, what's called a bija, or seed sound in Sanskrit. So as you inhale, you can intone the sound internally, Hong, and as you exhale, intone the sound Sa. So it's Hong for the inhale and Sa for the exhale. In many traditions, this is the Hamsa of the Muslims, or the Soham of the Tibetans. Hong Sa is simply the Hindu or Sanskrit version. This is connecting us to our essence as energy, our essence as breath, if you will, our essence as spirit. So Hong Sa affirms our identity as energy or as spirit rather than matter. And as we tune in to this reality, we feel it in our breath, we feel it in our spine, and we mentally affirm Hong on the inhale and Sa on the exhale. So just practicing in a way that works for you, remembering to stay calm and relaxed, doing your best to be alert and conscious while relaxing the body as much as possible. To round out a practice, we rub our hands together and we magnetize this energy in our hearts. We make one big Om. This is to activate our voice, to use our power and send it out, broadcasting it to the world. So take a big breath in and then make the sound Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Namaste. Thank you for practicing.